Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Kai Laveo channel. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for rocking out with me. And thanks for reviewing these crazy videos with me. Like I said, I love China. It's interesting, just like our own country here in the States. But in China, it seems like they got a little bit more going on. Let's check it out.
Nowadays, BMWs are really going for dirt cheap prices. Can you believe you could get a BMW X6, which used to cost over 1 million yuan, for just a little over 40,000 yuan? The condition and interior are still in great shape, and there's no major damage, no fire or water issues, so you can buy it with confidence. The total price is only a bit over 40,000 yuan, and you can decide how much you want to pay. And you could get a Land Rover for just a bit over 20,000 yuan in full payment.
Now, you guys all know I'm a car enthusiast over on my Instagram channel, right? But you have to realize people have yet to learn that the Japanese vehicles are some of the most reliable and affordable vehicles, unless you want to go the Lexus route, Acura, Infinity. Those will be much more reliable than these Euro cars. Not unless you get a Porsche. The Porsche is one of the most reliable European brands out there. But these Land Rovers and these BMWs and these Mercedes, once you get up to about 50, 60,000 miles, it's best just to get rid of that shit.
I just picked up this Audi Q7, which is a real bargain. Back then, it also cost over 1 million yuan, and the interior is 90% new, still from the original owner. A car like this would usually go for over 80,000 yuan on the market, but now I'm offering it for only a bit over 60,000 yuan in full payment. And for a Mercedes E300, it's a steal. The full price is only a bit over 30,000 yuan.
This blogger is the owner of a second-hand car dealership in Chongqing. While there is definitely a performative element to his sales tactics, it's undeniable electric cars like BMW, Land Rovers, and Mercedes, once out of reach for many, are now losing their prestige as electric vehicles take over. Just to clarify, in China, electric and hybrid vehicles are broadly referred to as electric cars, especially in the second-hand market. These luxury cars have dropped to bargain prices, yet they still struggle to attract buyers. In the comments, people expressed disbelief at such low prices, and the blogger responded by inviting them to the dealership to verify for themselves. Although we cannot verify whether these prices are accurate, the price war in China auto market, which began in 2023, have been relentless, with waves after wave of increasingly intense competition. What started as a battle between electric vehicles has now extended to fuel-powered cars driven by some new electric car companies promoting slogans like "same price for electric" and gas-powered vehicles. The war is truly widespread, with intense competition across the board. As we enter 2024, more and more automakers are joining the fray, using price cuts to capture market share, resulting in a continuous decline in new car prices. However, in this environment, luxury brands often see their brand value erode as prices drop. But they are left with little choice but to join the price war to maintain their market position. The once iconic three musketeers of the luxury car would be BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi, also known
All trash. Don't get me wrong, these vehicles are nice. And see, Audi, they did a good job with the tech packages. But see, you got to remember, all that stuff is going to stop working before the car's even paid off. Not unless you paid cash money for it, right? But most people don't buy their cars cash money. And even if they did, it's really not worth it. Because see, that's like buying a house for cash. And you didn't really let it generate any worth because you paid for it up front. When really you're losing money when you buy a car outright, because you know about the deflation after you drive it off the lot, it's already decreased. And cars lose their value the most within the first 3 years. That's when the prices will drop the most in value. Go figure. While you paid it all off up front, when you get rid of the car, you're not going to get much money back.
as BBA in China. have seen their price plunge under the pressure of electric vehicles in the Chinese market, with some models dropping by 100,000 or even 200,000 yuan. However, as market competition intensifies, the price war has led to a vicious cycle that many dealers find hard to bear, pushing them into loss or even forcing them to shut down. In this situation, luxury brands have had to make a tough choice between lowering prices to maintain market share or reducing sale volumes to protect pricing. On July 1st of this year, BMW was the first to exit the price war, raising prices on models that had previously been part of promotional campaigns, with increases ranging from 30,000 to 50,000 yuan. BMW China explained that the price war had caused severe losses for its dealership. So starting in July, BMW would reduce sale volumes to stabilize prices, alleviating the financial strain on the stores. Following this, other traditional luxury brands like Mercedes-Benz and Audi also ended their price cuts for market share strategy. Now, more than a month later, what is the situation for these luxury cars that excited the price war? Let's hear what this car critic has to say.
They finally couldn't hold out. BMW has ultimately chosen to lower prices again. Go ahead, keep raising your prices. For the sake of your prestigious brand, how could you possibly bow down? I actually like that rebellious spirit of yours. But just a month after announcing price increases, BMW couldn't take it anymore. Although they tried to fool everyone by saying sales improved after the price hike, in reality, many BMW models have returned to their pre-increase prices or even lower. The BMW X1 now has discounts of 100,000 to 110,000 yuan, back to what it was before. Other popular models have also been adjusted back to their old prices. Only a few models that don't have stock have kept the prices increased. As for Audi, Mercedes-Benz, Toyota, and Volkswagen, who all initially said they would follow BMW in raising prices, only Audi actually raised prices a bit, but even they are about to lower them again. Mercedes-Benz didn't raise prices at all, and Toyota and Volkswagen were just joining the fun and didn't raise prices either. In the end, BMW was the only one that truly raised its prices.
Actually, this shows just how fierce the competition in China auto market really is. Fuel power cars are still facing ongoing challenges, and recently the price of lithium carbonate, a key material for batteries, have been continuously dropping. Many industry experts believe this could signal the beginning of yet another price war for electric vehicles. The sky is falling, folks. The price of lithium carbonate has dropped again for the first time in 3 years, falling below 80,000 yuan per ton. Do you know what it was just a few years ago? 500,000 to 600,000. Do you know what that means? As an industry insider, I can tell you it means that starting next month, the top car companies are likely to start another price war. And we're not talking about a few thousand yuan here and there. We're looking at tens of thousands. It wouldn't be surprising if prices like 79,800 yuan drop to 59,800 yuan. With new cars continuing to drop, slightly used cars from within the past year are going to take a hit. As fueled power cars, there is no hope. They might as well completely surrender. As we all know, lithium carbonate, often referred to as white oil, is a key component in the batteries that power electric vehicles. The high cost of battery has always been the main reason why electric vehicles are priced higher than their fuel-powered counterparts. As a lady mentioned, the drop in lithium carbonate prices will inevitably lower the production cost of electric vehicle batteries. This has led some to predict that the decline in raw material prices could accelerate competition.
Ooh-wee. Now see, this is the stuff that I like to see. This is how you really represent a car. Two fine ladies in that white velvet dress. And see, their dealerships look a lot nicer over there. And then this is what they're not doing. See, in the American market, they're not dropping them prices like that. They'll probably drop it maybe 10,000, but they're not going to drop it a whole 100,000. But then that's yuan currency anyway. So, I mean, that's still a big drop because you got to remember, people can't afford these expensive cars anymore. Even used cars are too expensive. So nobody's not really buying cars like they were post-pre-pandemic levels.
In the electric vehicle market. With electric vehicle prices continuing to fall, their competitiveness against fuel-powered cars will increase, ultimately leading to electric vehicles gradually eating away at the market share.
And by the way, if you check out I just did another vehicle video about the EV cars in China that are being produced in Mexico now. They actually came and made a deal with the Mexican government and officials to put facilities over there to make their Chinese EVs over there, which is great for business over there. So that's going to give Mexico more jobs and everything. So that's just something to look at. Because see, they didn't want to bring these cars to be made in the American market because they'll just blow Tesla out the water. Tesla is trash, by the way.
Leaving traditional fuel vehicle manufacturers with less and less room to survive in China's auto market. Data released by the China Association of Automobile Manufacturers shows that in 2023, the production and sales of electric vehicles in China reached about 9.58 million and 9.49 million units respectively, representing year-on-year growth of 35.8% and 37.9%. The market share for electric vehicles reached 31.6%, an increase of 5.9 percentage points compared to the same period in 2022. During the Guangdong High Quality Development Conference held on February 18th, BYD chairman and President Wang Chunfu predicted that the monthly penetration rate of electric vehicles would exceed 50% this year. Wang's prediction actually came true in July. According to data released by the China Passenger Car Association on August 8th, sales of electric and hybrid vehicles in July surpassed traditional fuel vehicles for the first time. The market share of 51%. This marked a historical shift in China's auto market, reflecting the major trend of gradual electrification driven by government policies. CNBC reported that a year ago, the penetration rate of electric vehicles in China was only 36%, and as recently as January this year, the market share of electric vehicles had even dipped below one-third. CNBC pointed out that data from the China Passenger Car Association has been questioned in the past. According to their latest figures, in July, sales of pure electric vehicles surpassed hybrid vehicles, with a market penetration of 28%. However, sales and delivery data provided by companies such as BYD and Li Auto suggest that Chinese consumers are increasingly favoring hybrid vehicles. Research by Voice of America found that sales of electric vehicles in China grew by 37% year-on-year in July, with a month-on-month growth of 28.6%. Sales of pure electric vehicles in July rose by 14.3%, following a 9.9% increase in June. Just 3 years ago, the penetration rate of electric vehicles in China's new car market was only 7%. The rapid transition of China's auto market to electric vehicles is undoubtedly linked to the Chinese government's policies. At the end of July, the Chinese government announced an increase in the car purchase subsidies introduced in April, offering an additional...
Alright, so you know how most of the videos I review are about, comparing China to America and how people are refusing to get together, start families, get married and everything. But I still see people going into these dealerships, couples and families, trying to see which car will be perfect for the family. And see, that's another reason why car prices are dropping. But at the same time, everybody's trying to make the ultimate SUV.
Additional 20,000 yuan, about 2,785, to each new car buyer. In addition to cash subsidies, some cities, including Beijing, announced the expansion of their highly coveted new car license quotas. Beijing alone increased the number of new car license plates by as many as 20,000. Stephen Ezell, Vice President of Global Innovation Policy at the Information Technology and Innovation Foundation, told Voice of America that China's massive subsidies lower costs, allowing Chinese companies to survive in the market without needing to generate market-based returns. He noted that the low prices certainly help with promotion. With the rise of electric vehicles, the situation of joint venture fuel car companies has become increasingly difficult. Beyond following the trend of cutting prices and constantly introducing new models, there seems to be little else they can do. For example, the Honda Civic, once widely popular across the country, used to require an additional 30,000 yuan and a 3-month wait to get the car. Its original starting price of 141,900 yuan has now dropped.
And just to let you know, the highest end model is manual, the Type R. And in America, you're going to be paying at least 60K or maybe even more, depending on if you can even get your hands on one. Because see, the dealers, they're hiding them behind the back of the dealership for themselves. So you might as well get a 3 Series if you're a BMW fanboy. You're pretty much paying BMW prices for this Civic. Not specifically this one, but the highest end model, which is a Type R. It's supposed to be 40K, but after markups, because they can't keep them on the parking lot, it's going to be about 60 to 70.
To just 70,000 yuan. No wonder some say that the price drop is even more thrilling than a roller coaster. The once unthinkable luxury brand like BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi, BBA, are now becoming more affordable, making them seem less much out of reach. Some have summarized the current state of China's.
They can make it affordable all they want to. It's the maintenance that's going to kill you. I know doctors, I know lawyers that had these Audis and these Mercedes. They got tired of having a headache of taking it to the shop all the damn time. That's what makes people get rid of them. So you could get a good deal on these cars. Well, not a good deal per se, but for what you paid for it, you could have got a Lexus, which is the most reliable car, by the way, even though it's a premium Toyota versus an Audi. And Lexus pretty much has all the technology as these other premium German brands.
Auto market. French and Korean cars have long been regarded to the others category, while other dominant German and Japanese cars now appear to be struggling. According to data from the China Association of Automobile Manufacturers, the market share of German cars in 2020.
Porsche is the only European brand I'll buy. Mind you, the only thing that pisses me off is it's still the damn Volkswagen. Or should I say VW. The VW group. Volkswagen, Audi, Porsche.
2023 was 17.8%, while the share of Japanese cars dropped to 14.4% compared to their heyday. It's a stark contrast. Although China's electric vehicle market reached a historical penetration rate in July, the overall car market sales still declined by 3% due to weak consumer confidence and economic slowdown. This marks the continuation of a 4-month downward trend. Furthermore, amidst the increasingly fierce competition in the auto market, life hasn't been easy for Chinese electric vehicle companies either. Recently, several Chinese electric vehicle companies released their financial report for the first half of 2024. According to the reports, most of these companies are operating at a loss, with the topic Xiaomi losing 60,000 yuan for every electric car sold, even trending on social media. Companies like XPeng Motors, Leap Motor, and BAIC Blue Park are still facing the challenges of increased revenue without increased profits. On August 21st, Xiaomi Group released a financial report for the second quarter of this year, marking the first disclosure of its automotive business performance since Xiaomi Motors launched in March 28. The report shows that Xiaomi's smart electric vehicles and other innovative business generated 6.4 billion yuan in revenue, with a total of 27,307 vehicles delivered in the quarter. However, the smart electric vehicle segment recorded a net loss of 1.8 billion yuan based on these figures. Xiaomi's per vehicle loss exceeded 60,000 yuan after the report was released. It sparked widespread discussion online. A screenshot circulating online shows a person, allegedly a PR head from Jiyue Motors, posting on social media mocking Xiaomi Motors, losing 60,000 yuan per car. Why are you still selling so many? The post went on to criticize Xiaomi's business approach, accusing it of dumping and calling it
the number one wealth killer, buying a new car. So all these people that are trying to buy these cars, most of them are probably going to be broke unless they have family inheritance, their own businesses, crypto, whatever. But the average person out there trying to buy a new car, they're telling us not to do that anymore because that's going to make us broke. But a house payment's not going to make us broke. A mortgage isn't going to make us broke.
The worst kind of business behavior. Xiaomi Group President Liu Weibing responded by explaining that Xiaomi Motors' strategy is to break into the market with one model. As the company continues to expand its presence in the automotive industry, it will achieve economies of scales, leading to improved profit margins in the future. Xiaomi Group founder Lei Jun also stepped forward twice on the 21st and 22nd of August to address the situation. During a live broadcast on the 22nd, Lei Jun acknowledged that the second quarter saw a loss of 1.8 billion yuan in innovative business such as smart vehicles. However, he emphasized that once Xiaomi Motors reaches a certain production scale, he believes breaking even will be easy. He added, "I also want to say making car is really not easy." This year, the stock performance of the new wave of electric vehicle manufacturers, NIO, XPeng, and Li Auto, has been weak. NIO's shares in Hong Kong had dropped by 60% this year, with the current stock low prices down over 80% from its peak more than 2 years ago. Investors have been selling off shares driven by NIO's growing losses. On August 22nd, 2nd, NIO announced that it would release its 2024 second quarter financial report on September 5th. NIO delivered a record of 57,373 vehicles in the second quarter and expects revenues to reach between 16.6 billion and 17.1 billion yuan, a significant increase from the same period last year. However, the company remains in a loss-making position, though the exact figures are not yet known. Reports have suggested that NIO seems to be caught in a vicious cycle of the more it sells, the more it loses. According to Shenzhen Business Daily, in the first quarter of this year, NIO's total revenue dropped 7.2% year-on-year to 9.9 billion yuan, while its losses expanded by nearly 10% year-on-year to 5.26 billion yuan. Last year, NIO's net loss attributable to shareholders reached a staggering 21.2 billion yuan, representing a
Have you noticed something about these EV cars? Have you noticed that they're commuter type sedans? Where's the large SUVs at? Where's the large Cadillac Escalades, Lincoln Navigator electric? You can't electrify them, huh? It's too expensive.
45% year-on-year increase. This marked the second time NIO's losses exceeded 20 billion yuan since 23.3 billion yuan loss in 2018. From 2018 to 2023, NIO's cumulative losses amounted to 86.6 billion yuan. As for Xpeng Motors, the company's financial data for the first half of 2024 shows that it delivered a total of 52,028 vehicles with total revenue of 14.7 billion yuan, an increase of 61.2% year-on-year. However, the net loss for the period stood at 2.65 billion yuan. Regarding cash flow, Xpeng Motors had 37.3 billion yuan in cash, cash equivalents, restricted cash, short-term investments, and fixed deposits in the first half of this year, down from 45.7 billion yuan in the same period last year, a decrease of approximately 8 billion yuan year-on-year. In March, Xpeng Motors released its full-year financial report for 2023, showing a net loss of 10.4 billion yuan. This compares to a net loss of about 9.1 billion yuan in 2022 and a 4.86 billion yuan in 2021. Li Auto stands out as the only profitable company among the electric vehicle startups. On the evening of August 8th, Li Auto released its second quarter financial report of 2023, showing a net profit of 2.31 billion yuan, a year-on-year reversal from losses and a quarter-on-quarter growth of 147%. This marks the third consecutive quarter of profitability, placing Li Autos ahead of its peers in the electric sector. However, despite its profitability, Li Autos faced challenges this year. After the failed debut of its first pure electric flagship model, the Mega, the company's stock price plummeted by 30%, and it has yet to see a significant recovery. Other electric vehicle companies are facing even greater challenges.